I've seen so many budget patio set ads promise a backyard oasis, only for the buyer to end up with wobbling legs, cushions that soak up rain like a sponge, and a whole lot of regret. The worst part is when you're already halfway through a weekend grill, your guests are sweating, the sun is beating down, and you realize the cheap set you grabbed on a flash sale can't even hold a bowl of ice without tipping over. That's why today I'm taking a hard look at a mid-range option that markets itself as a smarter buy, the Christopher Knight Home Alger 5-seater patio furniture set. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the hesitation most shoppers feel isn't about the look. This set comes in a light teak finish that blends nicely with both vibrant garden palettes and more muted, modern exteriors. The real worry is whether the wood, the cushions, and the overall construction can survive real-world weather and everyday use without turning into a DIY project. I spent a couple of afternoons in my own backyard, setting up the pieces, sprinkling some water on the cushions, and testing how the set handled a typical weekend get-together. Below is what I learned, and who I think should really consider this set versus who might be better off looking elsewhere. The first thing you'll notice when the box arrives is how neatly everything is packaged. The frames are pre-drilled and the assembly instructions are clearly laid out with numbered steps, no cryptic diagrams that leave you guessing which bolt belongs where. I had a DI Innovis friend help out, and we had the whole sectional up in less than an hour, which is a big plus because many outdoor sets either require a toolbox of extra parts or end up needing a second set of hands to keep the legs from wobbling while you tighten the bolts. The easy-to-assemble claim actually holds up, and the advertised 24/7 customer support is reachable if you hit a snag. I tested the chat line just to see, and someone responded promptly. Now let's talk about the material. The frame is made from acacia wood, which, compared to some cheaper pine or composite options, has a higher natural density and tends to be more resistant to splintering and warping. This isn't a hard-as-stone frame. Acacia still feels warm under your fingertips and can be sanded if you ever need to refresh the surface. The finish on this set is a light teak stain that gives it a breezy, coastal feel. In my experience, after a week of exposure to both sunshine and light rain, the wood didn't develop any noticeable discoloration or surface cracks. Of course, it's still wood, so you'll want to apply a sealant or cover it during harsher winter months if you're in a climate with snow or heavy freeze-thaw cycles. That's the hidden trade-off. You get a natural look and a decent level of durability, but you still have to maintain it a bit more than a synthetic resin set would demand. The cushions are where a lot of the set's comfort and its potential pitfalls live. They're removable, which is a huge convenience for cleaning and for storing them out of the elements when the weather turns. The cushion covers are advertised as water-repellent, and a quick spray test with a garden hose confirmed that water beads up and rolls off rather than soaking in. That said, the cushion foam itself is not high-resilience memory foam. It's a medium-density polyurethane that will flatten a bit over time if you regularly sit on it for hours at a stretch. On a sunny afternoon with family around, the seats felt firm enough to support a good posture, but after a couple of months of weekly use I did notice a subtle sag in the middle seat, especially after a rainy day when the cushions were still slightly damp. If you're looking for a set that will stay plush without ever needing a replacement, this might be a minor disappointment. On the other hand, if you value the ability to pull the cushions off, shake out any debris, and toss them in the washing machine, they fit a standard dryer. The convenience outweighs the slight loss of bounce over time. The coffee table that comes with the set is a simple rectangular slab of the same acacia wood, supported by a metal frame. Its footprint is just right for a pitcher of lemonade, a few coasters, and a decorative lantern. I tested its stability by placing a 10-pound pot of beans on it and nudging the table. No wobble, no squeak. The metal understructure prevents the wood from bowing under weight, which is a thoughtful detail not always found in lower-priced sets where the tabletop is just a single piece of wood with no reinforcement. The trade-off here is that the table doesn't have a built-in shelf or any hidden storage, it's purely a surface. If you need a place to stash magazines or remote controls, you'll need to add a side table or a storage bench separately. So, who should buy the Christopher Knight Home Alger?